Episode 7. Just sus. Hopefully you're all having a great day. I sit down on a bar stool, exhausted. What would have happened if I hadn't called the ambulance? Would he have left that girl to die of an OD in Jasper's bathroom? Jasper's loft, drained of party guests, seemed hollow and empty. Mosey ordered his employees out and hightailed it. The musicians left. Christmas-flavored music continues. Tiny and small over a Bluetooth speaker. Jasper argues with his mom over the phone. Tristan rests his hand lightly on my shoulder. I close my eyes and I lean into his touch. I wish I could dissolve into anyone else. You were amazing. How did you know what to do? I took training in high school on how to administer naloxone. Because of my brother, of course, but I'd hoped never to use the info. At least Jasper hadn't. Let's get out of here. If we stay any longer, Jasper will rope us into cleaning up. He can afford to pay someone to do that. That's the spirit. Come on. Since there's vomit in the elevator, Tristan and I take the stairs down. Surprised there's not vomit there, too. Out on the street, a familiar shape darts for an alley. Maybe I wouldn't have recognized her, except I spent weeks dreading her. Tiana. Tristan looks between us, confused, but wisely he keeps his mouth shut and lets me deal. Don't just keep on walking, I know it's you. Then I realize she doesn't have George with her. What in the actual... I'll tell George you were here without him. She stops and turns to glare at me. Yeah, then how are you planning to do that? Oh, I'll let Orden know his pets have slipped his leash. Shit. You have an uncanny nose for trouble, don't you? I step forward, poke a finger in her direction. I've had too much of a night to be indirect. What are you doing here? And where's George? I thought you were joined at the hip. Business partners, right? It's a long story, kid. A story that I don't have time to tell, so if you don't mind, tomorrow's gonna be a day. She sounds different. What's her deal? Invite her to the diner. I slide into the booth, the pleather squeaks beneath me. Something I've always found weirdly embarrassing. I flip through the laminated menu. She sits and Tristan takes the seat across from me, wedging her into the corner next to the window. Strategic. You didn't ask me here to pay for your omelet. Although if you offered, I wouldn't say no. The waitress comes by, a woman in her 40s with dark circles under her eyes, frazzled hair, and a pin on her shirt that reads, "Ask me about my kids." Tiana orders, the waitress leaves again, stopping by a few tables to check on them on her way to the kitchen. So, you really are working for the FBI, huh? Does George know? You got some nerve, kid. To throw accusations like that around, I can't believe you. Oh yeah? How do you explain that? Camera, and it's a barcode. Look, I recognize equipment checked out from an institutional library anywhere because I'm poor, okay? So don't pretend with me. I throw the words in her face like an accusation, and maybe they are, because that's why she and her partner preyed on me, right? So I might as well turn the weakness into my superpower. Plus, I'm angry and I'm not afraid to show it. You know what? You owe me. Because of you, I've seen murdered corpses, ODs, and been exposed to corruption. When you involved me, you effed up. Because I'm not okay with what you've done, and I'm ready to talk. You know, I grew up in Riverside Estate, too. I remember when your grandmothers moved in. And I remember your parents. I didn't say my first response, which is, wow, you're older than you look, or did this happen recently? Because if so, that's crazy. I graduated from Kearney. I was recruited right out of school. So, she was, what, thought she was doing me a favor? I don't buy it. I know you're intelligent and hardworking. You're no fool. So believe me when I say you're putting my work at risk. The waitress slides tea in front of Tiana and refills the table's ice water. Oh, coffee, thank you. Tiana sips the pallid herbal tea and watches me cryptically. No offense, but I think you're trying to distract me, and I think there's a good reason you're not with George. He's not aware that you're surveilling Jasper. Question is, why? You mean why was I watching Jasper? I wasn't. I was watching Mosey. fair, given the trial and all. I meant George, though. How come George doesn't know? Why are you keeping secrets from him? Tristan's eyebrows lift. He sips his coffee meaningfully. Then there's your state-issued camera there. I'm betting you and George aren't on the same side. Maybe you're watching him, and if what he's got his claws into isn't bad enough for an immediate arrest, you're looking for something worse. Stop it, Janie. I've been kind to you so far, but you've drugged and abducted my brother. You've coerced and kidnapped me. You've threatened me. George would have handled this differently if he had been working alone. I can't prove it, but I know it's true. How differently? Is she really looking into Mosey, or is she investigating Sophie's death? Why are you talking to me now? You could have decided I was bluffing. I mean, I wasn't, but gone on your way. Why stop in? Sweetheart, I've been working this case for 6 years. 6 years it took me to get in here. My mama probably thinks I'm dead. You think I want to throw that away to bail out some nosy Nellie? Some girl who wants to play Nancy Drew? No, you stay out, you hear? I mean, she's not wrong. She sits back and then throws down her tea. Even though it must be pretty hot, she's impressive in her own way. Now then, do we have an understanding? He throws a wad of cash on the table like it's a mic drop and stalks out of the diner. I watch her go and I'm not intimidated, just thoughtful. Okay, question. If she was in the corner, how did she push Tristan out of the way to get out of the booth? Just completely overlooked. So, what do you think she's investigating? She never really told us what she's up to, did she? I sigh. The waitress deposits the bill on the edge of the table. Take the cash, I'll cover it. Time to head back? Yeah, I'm pooped. You really think she's from the estate? No, I really don't. Neither do I. He summons his car. Someone keyed it while we were eating, so that's all Tristan talks about on the way back to Rosewood. I never understood that. Keying somebody's car when it's just parked and didn't do anything wrong to you. When Tristan and I step into Rosewood, fast-flowing Spanish floods over us, punctuated with a quick beat of the radio. I've actually had people key my bike. Yes, my bike. I've also had people kick my tires, try and bend the handlebars. And it's a bike, no less. Like, what did my bike do to you? It sucks that I don't know Spanish. It's either early or late for Esmeralda to come in, don't you think? Basically, more reasons for why I hate people. Excuse me. I must go. Do you two need anything? You're in a good mood. Your husband... He's alive. I have a friend. Her husband is a day worker, you see. He went to a farm where he was kept. Kept? Sometimes they don't let the day workers come back. Well, he got back and one of the men at the farm is my husband. Oh my god. I'll get a message to him. When he knows where he is, he can escape and come to me. Tristan looks stunned, like he's never imagined that Esmeralda has a life outside of Rosewood Kitchen. It sounds like human trafficking or even slavery. He believes his own rhetoric and his ideals wholeheartedly, but he hasn't had much experience with the world. Sometimes it shows. Esmeralda gives him a look. The police would deport him, so no, it's not okay. That is not what I'm saying at all. Do you understand? I touch Tristan on the arm, signaling that he should be silent. He takes his intensity down a notch, because I have a sinking feeling about how some of this ties together. Do you know which farm? The new one. The Walcott Complete Farm. Tristan raises his eyebrows, like, our boy Logan Walcott? And I nod in response, yep, just like that. That, doesn't explain why you're here at 3 a.m. I'm so happy that I'm making cinnamon rolls. Also, I would like to ask for some time off after my husband comes back to me. But you wouldn't go without dinner. I recommend my cousin. What? Okay, hold on. That made no sense, but we're just gonna go with it. He pauses and looks over hopefully. I'll speak to James. It's late, so Tristan and I hug and then part ways to get ready for bed. Am I losing my shit on that made no sense? Let me know. What she said made no goddamn sense. I'm serious. I haven't read something that complicated or confusing in a long time. Urgent ringing wakes me. What time even is it? Only one person would ever call me. Your brother? Technically Gran. Gran, what is it? What's wrong? Carter, he's gone, Jeannie. He left. What? He's under 18. He can't just leave. What were they going to do, Janie? Tranquilize him? Arrest him? As far as I understand it, he talked his way out anyway. He said we were picking him up for Christmas shopping and walked right out. How is that even possible? Doesn't he need someone to sign him out? I don't know how this happens, but if he comes to you, call me. I need to know that he's safe. I promised Gran I'll tell her, then promise her I'll pray for him. Finally, I get her to hang up on me. Then I stare at the ceiling. I'm actually starting to lose my common sense and whatnot with this book. Okay. Statistically, this is common. I'm angry at him. I fear for him. I'm angry. How could he do this to me? He has to be kidding me. This has got to end. I'm out of patience. I'm done. He's my brother, and I love him, and of course I want him to get well. But I'm tired of this. I'm tired of the late-night calls, the emergencies. I'm tired of being scared for him. His addiction is doing more than taking over his life. It's taking over mine, too, and it's not fair. Sometimes I want to be able to live my life for me. I want things to be okay. Since I'm not about to manifest a good day, I sit down on my laptop to check my email. Normally, I ignore the daily emails about whatever's going on campus, except when I'm really bored. But today the subject line catches my eye. Alumnus and U.S. Senator Ketterling visits Kearney Student Union. Ketterling, that name, it can't be... Can it? The Ketterling Orden and Mosey mentioned? But who else could it be? It's not exactly a name like John Smith, now is it? Plus, I am interested in student government. Since it starts really soon, I've got to change fast. Alright. I've become a farmer all of a sudden with overalls. That one is okay. Little Boo Thang. What in the actual F? I guess I'm going Glow Up Princess, because... What in the How is this twisted? You're on it. I'm just gonna shut up. I'm nitpicking. Ketterling is attracted to women with red hair. If he's like red hair, he'll take an interest in you. So basically they're telling you to pick the princess hair. Even though technically, this is red hair too. Wait, hold on. Okay, so... These are all red hair. Now these aren't. Okay, so I'm assuming if I pick any of these three. It's weird how Twisted has completely flipped the script on what it used to be. This would have technically been, like... I would say Princess or Foxy. I mean, I kind of like them, but I'm just gonna go with this one. It is technically red hair. I swear to God if you say it's not. Once I'm done, I throw on a coat, tuck my phone into my pocket, and head over to the student union to see what's going on. Ketterling is giving some sort of address on top of a literal soapbox on the history of the phrase standing on a soapbox. Soap is heavy and was shipped to retailers in large crates, so to stand on a soapbox is to my surprise, Logan's standing in the smallish crowd. He grins and waves me over. I don't normally see you at these things. I was curious. Why are you attending? Traditionally, these improvised speeches were performed when... No one cares, old man, shut up. Oh, wow. He is so monotone. Oh, my parents wanted me to come. They're friends with him, I think. Anyway, I'm supposed to return his book. Wow. They must be on good terms if they're lending each other books. What book? It probably is some sort of code or something, and A handoff, if you will. The history of industrial agriculture in the Northeast. If that doesn't scream boredom, what does? I open it, and a small piece of paper flutters to the ground. Bookmark-sized. Oh, sorry. It's date, time, and a... Daniel has the ticker. It's loppy handwriting on it. Daniel has the ticker 11 on 12/4. I have no idea what it means, and I hand it back to Logan. I think I lost your mom's spot. I mean, she's giving it back, so I don't think it matters. If I'm going to be honest, the event's pretty boring. Logan starts checking his phone. I try to resist, but given to urge. Let's stalk Daniel and Walcott, see what happens, It doesn't take much digging to find a connection. Basic search that a 10-year-old could have done. I shrug and dig more. Who knew the Library of Congress kept records on all the lobbyist names? Daniel Astor, lobbyist for Walcott's. Previously lobbied for some agricultural associations and department store in Europe. Now, what's a ticker, even? Oh, stock market, of course. OBS. Then it dawns on me. Insider trading, they're communicating via paper, not even meeting in person, so they won't get caught. Does Logan know? No, he doesn't. Just looking at the face, I can tell that Logan's got about as much subterfuge in him as about as a golden retriever. After the extremely boring speech is done, Kettling slips through the dispersing crowd, evading a woman in a beige pantsuit and gray heels, who clearly is frustrated PR handler.
Logan, I recognized you in the crowd. It's been a while since I've seen your parents.
Yeah, about that. Mom says next time she can have you for cribbage is in January. She wanted to return the book too early.
Oh, January, all right. She can reach out to me then.
He reaches for the book. Everything about him screams that he knows what's going on, even if Logan doesn't. His gaze wanders over to me and then lingers in a particular way. What a creep. I never got why some guys seem so into redheads. What's the deal with it? It's not really a thing we can describe. There's a lot of guys I know who do not like redheads, but no, listen, shut up. I have a reason. I'll explain at the end of the video.
Who's your little friend here?
Oh, this is Janie. She lives in Rosewood House with us. She's awesome, really smart. You'd like her.
Oh, I do already. She reminds me of someone. Sophie, you could be her sister.
Yeah, because we still look so much alike. Flirt for information. I only met her once or twice before the accident, but from what I know of her, there's a compliment. She was gorgeous and a model, after all. Sophie?
Yes, as a student at Kearney, she had so much going for her, so many opportunities, if she could just take advantage of them.
Opportunities? I never pass one up myself. What are you famous for?
I don't know what anyone would ever call a U.S. Senator famous.
Really? Because you guys kind of are. Well, what bills are you sponsoring? Introducing? Are there any big votes coming up that for you that you have strong feelings about?
I'm sponsoring an anti-immigrant bill that will make deportation progress more efficient. It will decrease the time someone spends incarcerated.
At this point, Logan's looking pretty uncomfortable.
I'm introducing the Coast Guard Reorganization Act, as well as the Food Supply Infrastructure Exemption. It's public record.
Oh, wow, you're busy. Yeah, 4 bills that he just signs that someone else came up with. Maybe we should get going, Janie.
Are you here because you're interested in politics?
Oh, I'm very interested in politics.
Well, I like to mentor the newest generation of politicians, especially women. I think Congress could use more women in it, like you.
What do you mean, like me? We've only just met.
Ambitious, willing to do what it takes to get things done.
I've heard that's where there's a will, there's a way. Logan looks confused. He's such a boy sometimes.
If you're considering a summer internship, we have a few paid opportunities via my office where you can reach out. Here's my personal card. It'll get you through to my assistant.
Take it.
Great. Look me up if you're ever in D.C., okay? I can show you around. We can grab lunch or a coffee, okay?
Oh, it'd be wonderful to have my own personal tour guide. He smiles at me, touches my shoulder, and lets his hand trail down the length of my arm. I don't shrug him off. Logan gives me the side eye. Then he and Logan exchange a few other pleasantries before Logan and I take off to the library. We're headed in the same direction, roughly. I have an online test that uses the anti-cheating software, but I've read on the class Discord that sometimes it nabs you if you get distracted, so I want to do it in a study room. Logan takes off to check on the book from the reserves. He's gonna photograph it with his scanning app rather than read it in the library, though. Next time I'll see him, we'll be back at Rosewood. Okay, I booked the room online, but it said I need to pick up a key from the circulation desk. Here goes. I only get back to Rosewood late afternoon, practically evening. I still feel all sweaty and weird from taking the test, which was unexpectedly stressful. The guys are sitting around in the common area on their phones. For the most part, Simon and Jasper are playing Mario Kart. Damn, this is so much easier when I'm not stoned. Bro, I'm gonna annihilate you. Logan is watching them, eating goldfish crackers. James is on the phone, nodding. Yes, I understand. Yes, of course. Tristan's also on the phone. This surprises me. He's your friend, isn't he? Well, I guess I'm not that good, am I? Just see what you can do to suspend the account, okay? James gets off the phone. He rakes his hand through his hair, agitated. What is it? What's wrong? No, nothing. It's only my father has some concerns over the security of my laptop. Apparently someone's used my passwords to get access to... it doesn't matter. There's nothing he can't fix. Tristan, do you think you could take a look for malware or a virus? Tristan holds up his hand and points at his phone. He keeps talking to a person who I can only assume is his father. Yeah, of course, it's on campus. Where else would it be? The geofencing would have been a lot more precise than that, Dad. But, from the cold flicker of his gaze to James and away again, I understand that he's done it. He's finally done it. He hacked the Crest family accounts that he did to right the wrongs the Crests have done that I don't know. Probably played Robin Hood like he's always wanted to. And what about the Atwoods? He wouldn't have only targeted the Crests. You're an anti-capitalist. I can't help but stare at him, impressed and awed, because he's done it. He's really done it. He stood up for his values, even if it involved going up against his friends. He struck the first blow against the wealthy vultures who prey on us all. Grant walks into the room holding on one of Esmerella's gooey cinnamon rolls. He offers me a cheery wave and holds it out. Want a bite? It's the last one. No, I'm good, but thanks. My dad's losing his, well, if I were someone else and he was losing... and he were someone else, I'd say he's losing his shit. So, do you guys have any idea what's going on? And from how Tristan plugs his ear and turns away with a hunch to his shoulders, I can tell he feels guilty. He might actually be faking the conversation on the phone to his dad. I plugged the flash drive into Grant's father's computer. Tristan must have hacked the Atwoods account. Avery peeks his head out of the bathroom and then emerges. Bros, I've gotta stop smoking dope in there. It stinks up the place. What's with the faces? You read the news or something? What do you mean? All the dirt's come out on the Atwoods and the Crests and the scheme. And there's graphics. They're really good. So Chloe wrote the expose after all. Was it picked up by a national newspaper or something? Or TV channel? The graphics, you mean? I assume the stuff that's in the article isn't so good? Yeah, the charts are awesome and interactive. Trust me when I say my father's not concerning himself with the quality of Atlantic's bar graphs. His icy stare doesn't deter Avery in the least. Avery just shrugs, plucks the cinnamon roll from Grant's hands, and pops it in his mouth. Not cool. Ah, shit. Fuck yeah, look at my time and weep. And I have to wonder what the expose means. What it'll do. What it'll change. Tristan's hacked his friends' family's accounts. He stole funds. When they find out what will happen to Rosewood, to him and to us as a group. Are the good days over? I'm gonna go with 3 stars again because what the actual hell happened in the middle of this episode. Let us continue. Alright, I'm gonna keep this short and sweet. First and foremost, 1 princess, 1 twisted, 1 foxy. Diamonds! Alright, so pretty much we were able to do the thingy. Alright, so let me first and foremost say, if you did enjoy the content, to like, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell. Otherwise, let's go. So this episode was a little bit longer than the last one, which was... Oof. And we've had the 14-minute, we had 16-minute, at least this one was 25 minutes. So I'm happy with that. We're getting back to norm, so I'm not as panicky as we once were, but I digress. What the hell? Like, tell me I'm not losing my shit with what Esmeralda did. Like, was it just... Was there some commas needed? I'm literally gonna rewatch my own shit just to, like, see if maybe I had a stroke. I'm not even kidding, dude. Okay, so for the red head thing. For me, I don't really have a preference. I'll just be honest with you guys, short and sweet. I don't really have a preference when it comes to hair color, but there was, once a really sweet girl in my life who, man, she really was amazing. And I was super young, so was she, and she was just really, really nice, right? Typically, a lot of people look at people with red hair and they think they're fiery red's heads and they're assholes, and there are a lot of, like, negative connotations, and you know, they're just fiery. But she was complete opposite of the stereotype. She was the sweetest person, one of the sweetest people in my life. There was only one other person that is I can say was sweet. And that was my great grandma. Or may I say my great grandma, not my grandma. But she was great. And she was an amazing woman. But, the girl, like, we had a relationship and everything else, and unfortunately she is, we would have, I don't know how far we would have gone. I can only imagine. She was, an amazing woman. And unfortunately she was taken from this plane of existence, and I've talked about this before. But she was just really sweet. And, but I've always kind of, like, I mean, if a girl was to say, okay, like, here's 3 boxes of hair color, right? What would you like? This red, this brunette, or this blonde? It most likely depends on the girl and her facial structure and everything else like that, and the length of her hair, and yada, yada, yada. But I would probably either pick brunette or the redhead. Blonde, though, again, there's some people who are like, you don't like blonde. No, again, it's just preference, right? It's like going, do you want chocolate ice cream, strawberry ice cream, or vanilla ice cream, right? I'm just saying. It's a preference sometimes, right? And you girls, I know how some of you are. You love changing your hair color like it's changing a shirt. And you are doing irreparable damage to your hair, by the way, by doing it. Like, once in a blue moon, it's fine, but doing it, like, some of the women that I know, just, it's at least once a week. Minimum. Like, I've seen some people actually change their hair, like, 3-4 times a week, and I'm like, holy shit. Your hair is so effed up because it starts thinning, the root damage, the scalp damage, etc. Okay, I'm not going to rant, but you guys know. If you're smart enough and you know, you know. But yeah, again, it's just 3 flavors, right? There's plenty of flavors now, as it is. Hell, there's purple, there's blue, there's green. Hell, there's some of you do rainbow colors. It's just wild. But again, I can't explain the Reddit thing. I can't, you know, aside from other people's perspective. It's just a preference. Oh. Anyway, thanks again for watching. Love your beautiful faces. Let me know your thoughts down below, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace.